Casey.
Yeah.
What is your favorite restaurant in this area that you are always dying to get me to go eat? And I'm always like, nah, you go eat there by yourself.
Oh, Sam motherfucking Woo.
Yeah.
I like Sam Woo.
Sam Woo. I don't know which location this
Oh
is.
shit, that's the one here.
Down the street.
That's the one right here.
That's at Alhambra.
Yo, what happened?
You don't like dead ducks in the front of a store?
I love it. And carcasses of pigs.
I'm a weird person. I just don't like that stuff.
It makes my mouth.
Do you even like food?
No, I don't.
Serious question.
No, seriously?
Yeah.
I just eat to survive. Well, now I have found joy in certain foods, but that's a long story. Anyway, the point is,
This is Sam Woo's the chain one, right?
the chain.
I'm really curious as what this news is right now. I feel like I know.
I know the daughter.
Yeah,
Oh yeah?
yeah.
Well, okay, so.
I had a party at her house.
The one in San Malino? Is that one?
Well, so for those of you that are not local, this is a LA County-based restaurant chain, and it's a popular Hong Kong style restaurant. And like Casey's and you guys,
Sam
they
Woo
have,
barbecue.
Like, they have like hanging ducks in the front. It's just very traditional.
Delicious.
Hong
It's a
Kong.
delicious.
Half a freaking roast pig.
Yep, half a roast
Oh,
pig,
it's
all
so
that,
delicious.
right? And so,
It's a delicious.
The chef is smoking a cigarette indoors.
No.
that's all over
Wearing
the place.
sandals.
He's popping a squat like this. Yeah.
No.
It's your peoples. So,
Oh, it just has great memories there.
yes, but it turns out
Uh-oh, don't tell me.
No.
that
I was gonna go there right now.
It's not real duck.
that.
Regardless of what happens, we're going.
What are you thinking, Bart? You look shocked.
I was
What's in your brain
thinking
right now?
What's the anticipation?
it might be a front for like interior design crimes.
Dude, their interior design at those restaurants is a crime. No, it's so fucking bad.
I don't know what they're doing.
Out of everything you could have said, that shit was so good.
Their menus, some of them, is like a fucking back of a printed paper, and they'll write some shit in marker and be like, today's special, duck feet. And then they just put it on the wall like that.
They do that. It's really, yeah, it's like that. Well, it's not for crimes of
It's
interior
been up there since the
design.
97, it's been up there since the 70s or some shit.
It's not
same
for that
special.
crime.
It is for a crime? Oh shit.
Something happened. And I'll tell you right now. Okay, so Gary Chung, the owner of this chain, faced a total of 107 charges, and he pleaded guilty to filing a false sales tax return and failure to pay payroll taxes and filing a false income tax return, among others. So here's the breakdown.
No.
So he was.
I'm not surprised.
He was accused of
No, me
using his
neither.
restaurants to run a fraudulent tax and workers' comp insurance scheme from January 2012 to March 2019. And so they're saying that the members of the Tax Recovery and the Underground Economy Task Force completed the investigation into Gary Chung's schemes. And so during that period, they concluded that he failed to report the following information. Number one, over $16 million in sales to the Department of Tax and Fee Administration. Number two, over $14 million in taxable income to the Franchise Tax Board. Number three, over $2.1 million in wages to the Employment Development Department. And number four, over $2.1 million in wages to insurance carriers.
That's a lot of fucking.
Yeah, so they're saying that he evaded payment of $2,414,769.93
Oh, down to the cents.
in sales tax, income tax, and payroll tax, and $549,606 in workers' comp insurance premium.
All of that he didn't report, and they're only gonna fine him $2.5 million?
No, so he evaded payment of that. All the numbers I just
got
said.
you.
Yeah.
Evaded that value, and then now it's way
So
worse.
this is what he has to pay in restitution. $2,964,375.93.
And he pleaded guilty.
And they're
So
saying
he owes 16 million something?
No, he didn't report that, so
that.
he would have owed 2.5 million and half a million to workers' comp, 2 million to
Yeah.
income tax.
yes, yeah. And so they're saying that he will serve at least 3 years in prison or 9 years and 4 months if he fails to pay that amount that the last amount.
Fuck!
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they got Al Capone
That's
on
true.
tax
That's
evasion.
true.
They get a lot of the high-profile crime lords. They can't pin them on like violent crimes.
Or murders or
Why?
Yeah, so-
Isn't there proof, evidence?
That's where RICO came, like the RICO laws, so then they can get the whole organization. But also, like Al Capone, well, one, he was so distanced from all the things that, you know, the hitmen get in trouble, but like no one squeals.
Actually do it.
He didn't actually do it, and then they could never prove that he called the hit. No one squealed on him, so they only was able to get him on tax evasion. That was the only thing they were able to get him on.
So if drug dealers and murder, like these big kingpins, just pay their taxes, they don't have to worry about shit.
If they're really good all across the board.
Well, that's hard to say because you can't say like if all these drug kingpins pay their taxes because like even like paying taxes on the money that they're making,
You have
it's
to
like
claim where the money's coming from.
yeah, it's like dirty money, illegal money, so
Yeah.
it has to be laundered. So even that tax evasion, that's tax evasion on like their business fronts, right?
On fronts, yeah.
So this is he's doing tax avoiding. He's not, you know, he's not reporting taxes, things like that. So man, that's crazy. $2.5 million, and if he don't pay, and he's facing time, that's fucked up.
To be fair, I would assume that like 90% of like, you know, Asian business people, especially during that generation,
They're all guilty.
do the same thing relative to their yearly income.
Yup.
Yeah.
So the difference is he just was
He just-
successful.
He's a mogul, yeah.
yeah. Whereas some people are doing the same percentage-wise kind of evasion or tax.
He got caught. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
Most of those places don't even take card.
Yeah, it's cash only.
And then
No,
they every
yeah.
every X amount of years they'll change the name of their business so that they just kind of like the previous business kind of ups and leaves and disappears.
Damn, I wonder when we're gonna hear like some.
No!
Don't
Bleep
even
that out.
say
Bleep
that
it out.
now.
Can you imagine that cook with the cigarette that was chopping up all the duck heads? That fool was actually an IRS like undercover agent.
I know, because they have a whole task force and shit.
Yeah, because they must have gone from like the inside.
Imagine though, they gotta like fucking put microphones in like the ducks.
They're like Chang, John Chang.
But they don't know, so they put like, oh, nobody's gonna eat this part. It's the feet, and they do.
And it's like
They don't
today's
know.
special duck feet from 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Get the mic out, get the mic.
But dude, you know what's crazy? This was only in a 7-year period, and this restaurant opened over 40 years ago.
So they've been invading.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot more to it than that they're not.
Probably. I mean, but they can probably only get them up until.
Hey, not
like that.
necessarily. Maybe they were doing everything the totally legit way for like 33 years, and then one day it was like, fuck it.
Yeah, you don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't know. you know?
And there's multiple too, so he could have been evading across a bunch of the restaurants.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he personally owns them all. Like it's not a franchise. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
but they did mention the franchise board. They didn't pay the fees or whatever. I don't know. That's crazy, man. It's crazy because like okay, well, we know that it exists,
It's in our backyard.
Yeah, it's a restaurant that we're so familiar with.
but you know that a lot of Asian cash businesses do things like this, right? Like it's you always hear about it, but you never know exactly how it's done.
Maybe they're not as successful as he was, so he was on their radar, or they weren't on. The other restaurants were on.
Maybe
It's
they're making an
dangerous,
example
man.
out of him too. It's like, hey, we'll take on the biggest guy in this area, and like all you other motherfuckers, you better clean
You're
up.
not safe.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, man, because like there's there's like legal loopholes that you can do, but when you just blatantly do illegal shit like this, you're playing with fire because you could build an empire, but it can all come crashing because you didn't do it legit. And man, that's crazy. Isn't it crazy how like Amazon will pay like $1 tax or some like because they have enough money to like get it offshore, do all these crazy things.
They're also smart enough to do it too.
Yeah, and then these guys are trying to do it in their own way, but they're still a small business compared to like Apple, Google, and all these guys.
course.
And because they have the money and power, they can do other things like that are crazier, like in the billions of dollars. Because this is pretty big, but place is very humble. Like it looks like a hole wall. Like you go in there.
I honestly did not know that this was a chain until this story.
Well, this one
Yeah,
is
a lot of
humble.
locations.
There's one in Cerritos, and it looks like a
Like a buffet Asian spot. Right?
yeah, like a Chinese seafood restaurant. So some of them are actually like big. It's just that one is like small hole in the
One
wall.
of the OG, like first locations,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you see the spot though, it doesn't feel like you're in McDonald's or something corporate.
Yeah, no,
like
no.
so then when you hear these
Yeah,
numbers,
you could just tell from the front.
it's mind blowing.
Looks really humble. It's a humble place.
That one.
Yeah,
That one. Yeah, that's probably the smallest location out of all the locations.
Really is the only one I've ever seen. So that's why I thought it was just like a mom and pop kind of like.
Because the other one that I grew up on in Cerritos, they're kind of smart, where it's a little bit more of a assimilated city. So the front of the store that faces the street, it feels like a Sizzler. Like you're like, oh, okay, these guys, they know what packaging and how to present it to like the American palate.
They don't have the printed paper on the walls.
Or the hanging ducks.
So if you go, it's actually a 2-in-1. So if you go in the back where the parking lot is, that's where the to-go section is.
Oh.
So if you pick up to-go, that's where all the hanging ducks are. But no one,
Smart.
no one that's like American, when you go to a restaurant, you don't try to find the back entrance.
Yeah.
You always go to
Oh
the
yeah, they have one in Temple City that's like more. It's like a cafe.
2-in-1 too.
Yeah, and on the takeout side, it's like the hanging ducks.
Are these you think these businesses are gonna close down because of this, or
Oh, they better not. This better not affect the actual the restaurants.
Yeah.
might need
Well,
to?
the pandemic already as it is, a lot of restaurants are already just struggling like crazy. That's why everyone's saying like just buy local. Like don't go to these chains during these times right now.
They look like a local spot though.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a hometown favorite.
Or I didn't mean specifically Samu. I meant like Domino's or something. Yeah.
We should stop by Samu.
We should.
We're stuck on the way home
I feel like I
tonight.
should support him now.
Yeah.
He needs our help more than ever.
It's weird because like when I think about these restaurants, like all right, I'm not thinking like, oh man, they're tax evading, how fucked up. I feel like now they need more money to pay their employees because they have to now pay the shit, right? And I'm always thinking about the server and the cook and the people that actually run the place. I'm not thinking about the people that own it. Yeah.
Well, to be fair too, though, like I would assume that not reporting income tax for your workers and or workers' comp means that he was probably paying people under the table.
Yeah.
Which for that type of position, it's not like you're working there as a career with health benefits or anything like that. You don't mind the cash and less tax liability for yourself anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's usually a win-win, but it's illegal.
Yeah.
Because
It's a win-win for the boss and the employee, but lose for the government.
it's lose for the
Right.
community because we rely on those tax dollars to, from businesses to be allocated to other things. So I think that's where it's kind of fucked up.
But you know what? And then you think about it though, because that's how it should be, right? Where sales tax goes back into the community, like fix the roads, give schools money and all this shit. But then once it reaches that level, there's so much corruption there that it doesn't even get distributed to community either. So then these business owners are like, well, I might as well fucking keep my money then. Like, why am I giving it to the city if it's not even working for me?
yeah, like is the IRS gonna come in? You know what I mean? Be like, all right, now you got to pay like $3 million. And then once he pays $3 million, it's like, all right, here's at least $1 million that goes back to your city. That's not gonna happen.
No, yeah, 3 million just gone.
Exactly. So it's a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not very inspirational, right? For the proper business etiquettes and mechanics. For everybody to follow that, especially for Asian people that came in during this time frame, they needed all the help they can get. Yeah, for sure he's successful now, and at the same time not because of this. But at that time, and for any immigrant who came over, it's like you're in survival mode. You're not in follow the rules mode.
Yeah.
You're in do whatever you need to do mode. You know what I mean?
That's true.